Good morning, everyone. Today is November 5th, 2019. It's an absolutely spectacular day. It's in the 70s. It's just completely like spring weather. The trees are starting to go back into bloom. They think it's, April or May. And what's going on is, the rest of the country's frozen right now because we have this high pressure zone pushing up from the Pacific, and it's you know pushing all that warm air kind of north and east, and it's cooling down in the Arctic, and then it's coming back down into the core of the United States. Um, what that means here is that it's warm air off the Pacific. So even though it's November, normally I would be winterizing my plants. I wouldn't be giving them any fertilizer. I wouldn't be watering them. I'd be letting them go all going dormant. Um, but instead, I'm taking advantage of this warm weather in the middle of fall and getting my plants to put more sugar down into their root system. Um, because doing that, then they'll have a head start in the spring. I'm trying to get the trees to put on, girth. So there's my hand, it's almost as wide as 3.5, 4 fingers wide. This is a 2-year-old tree. And, this peach over here, this was here before we got here. Um, it's just a little bit ahead of the cherry trees. So we're trying to encourage more of that growth, even though it's fall. Because why not? I'm also letting the plants kind of tell me what they want to do. So, um, we got purslane here, so edible weeds get to stay. We got mallow behind that cherry tree over there. Fillery. We have all these plants that are growing voluntarily. We have volunteer tomatoes growing, and they're flowering. So I pulled all the tomatoes out of this planter pot, and it's all potatoes. So the other type of nightshade, right? And they grew pretty well together, except for the tomatoes took over. And also I heard that you can pack hay around the base of your potatoes and kind of make them ladder up. But what that did was it killed all my potatoes. So it diminished my harvest. So this year I took all the little teeny tiny spuds that were like right here, and I'm pushing them down, separating them out, taking the other one, move it over a little bit, pulling the big spuds out. So here's some big ones that were just, where the skin of the potato was showing. So I pull those out. I'm going to eat those and let the little ones start growing and multiplying in there. Potatoes are a good crop to grow as a backup, or almost like a survival crop, because they're loaded with starch. And also, if it's a nasty storm and it rains and hails and knocks all the green down, all the top side down, well, your crop is underground, so it's protected from the damage of the hail. Unlike anything like corn that's growing above, that would get damaged, and there's nothing below the soil that would be protected by the soil. So potato patch, and like I was getting at, I'm letting the plants tell me what they want. So, it's November and these are starting to sprout. So I cleared the patch, add a little bit of compost over the top to cover some of the spuds that were just kind of at ground level. Just watering them in. So what I'm saying, I guess, is that you want to utilize the the weather anomalies to your benefit. You know, I'm growing chard in and amongst the corn. Corn's growing okay. You know, this is kind of just like an experiment to see if I can get an extra crop in the fall. I planted it at the end of summer knowing that we're going into fall, and see how much I can get at a late season planting. But this chard's loaded with vitamins and bright colors and everything. So we got yellow and red and green, orange. What's interesting too, I've been watering these plants pretty good. See if I can get a picture of it. They've gotten sunburnt or radiation burns or something from the sun. Not just the chard, but the corn. It would sunburn the tomatoes, some of the fruit as well. I mean, completely roaches it. That's not from frost. We haven't had a frost yet. So I don't know if you can see that, if it's focusing right, but yeah, the sun just kind of burned these leaves, and it's doing it to the, you know, some of the other plants, burning those leaves. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I think we're just having radioactive days that are roaching our plants and vegetables. So something to be aware of. Rosemary's starting to bloom again, giving the bees something to forage on. So just a little update. Yeah, November 5th. It's acting like spring. Like spring. So roll with it, I guess. You know. Maybe we'll get some fruit in the middle of winter. And then get fruit in the spring again or the summer. This little update. Hope all's going well with you guys. Feel free to comment. Share your gardening experience if you have any tips. I definitely like advice. I want to get better at my skills and my crafts as well, and we can all share good ideas around. And if you think someone might benefit from any of these, then share it with them. Any of these videos. Have a good day.